We have another Donald Trump pick for Secretary of Homeland Security, and he has picked a female, Kristi Noem. Now, Kristi Noem is a politician from South Dakota. She's the governor of South Dakota, and there was some scuttlebutt a little while ago about her possibly being a vice presidential candidate for Donald Trump. And then people started talking about this story where she killed her dog. Now, that's true. She did kill her dog. For those of you who live in the deep woods like I do, or, out west, or, in the Midwest, in the country, sometimes, it's not uncommon for people to put their own dogs down. Now, if you live in the suburbs or New York City, this is obviously a horrible crime against animals. But you don't know who the dog was or what the dog did. But let's watch ABC try to talk about it when they talk about the hush money case, which actually is all over now because Donald Trump is your president, which I love.
And one of Trump's potential picks for vice president, South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem, is on the defense after strong backlash about a story of the governor shooting her dog. Chief Washington correspondent John Carl has the story. And John, this is a weird one.
This is a weird one. You see how he just sets the tone? This is a weird one.
George, this is quite a story. It's a story that Noem recounts in a new book about a short-haired pointer, a wire-haired pointer hunter dog that she had on her farm, who she says was untrainable. She tried to take the dog out hunting with other dogs while the dog had a great time running around. It scared all the birds away. It was a disaster. On the way back from that hunting trip, she writes that she stopped by to see some friends. The dog jumped out of the truck and started attacking her friends' chickens, killing several of them, even whipping around to try to bite Noem. Noem says she then took the dog out to a gravel pit, George, and shot the dog. She said that, quote, "I hated that dog." As you can imagine, this has caused quite a backlash. Noem, however,
I'm not going to lie. That's pretty freaking gangster. And, sometimes the Secretary of Homeland Security, if she's willing to kill her own dog to protect herself and her family and her friends' chickens, I'm pretty sure she's willing to do a lot of things to protect the United States of America, which is what America needs, especially after this disastrous presidency with Donald Trump. With Donald Trump now in power, we need to unscrew a lot of things, and you need friggin' people that are going to do it and have the courage to do it. I think that kind of helps her resume and doesn't necessarily hurt it. Again, I understand if you live in a cozy neighborhood, but if you live in a farm with farm animals and you have working dogs and their jobs are to assist the family and they're not, they're not pets that hang out on the couch. Sometimes they live outside and their job is to protect the chickens or the ducks or the goats or the cows or to herd the animals. They're not pets. They're working dogs. They're assets to the farm. And if they're a danger to your family, if you live in South Dakota or North Dakota or Montana, there's not really a vet that you could take them to euthanize them for a majority of the time. Now, this is Inside Edition, but Kristi Noem, we get to hear her side of the story on the situation.
Kristi Noem speaking out in her first TV interview about fatally shooting her dog because she says the animal was untrainable. Many say
Notice how it's the same exact words. Because she says the animal is untrainable.
Revelation torpedoed her chances of being Donald Trump's running mate, but Noem is calling the controversy fake news.
Kristi Noem is hitting back at the firestorm raging over her shooting her dog to death.
She attacked me, and it was a hard decision.
The South Dakota governor tells Sean Hannity she had to put her dog Cricket down after the animal ate the neighbor's chickens and tried to bite her.
And I had a choice between keeping my small children and other people safe or a dangerous animal, and I chose the safety of my children.
Noem first made the revelation.
That's what we need. Gangster. You know, everybody wants to be a gangster until it's time to do gangster shit. You took your dog out to a gravel pit and put a bullet in its head to protect your family. I'm sorry. That's the kind of person that I would like to be in charge of protecting the United States. Sorry.
In her new autobiography, No Going Back.
It was a dog that was extremely dangerous. It had come to us from a family who had found her way too aggressive. Sean, you know how the fake news works. They leave out some or most of the facts of a story. They put the worst spin on it.
Cricket was a wire-haired pointer like this one, bred for hunting birds. Social media is reacting swiftly to the interview. The all fake news excuse goes one comment. She is blaming anything else but herself. Meanwhile, Donald Trump, who had reportedly been considering Noem as a possible running mate, was back in court today in the hush money case.
Yeah, all acquitted by the vote of the American people. So that's another interesting choice. We will see how that plays out. Obviously, that controversy is going to be played on the news, and it's just never going to end. They're going to be bringing up the dog killer left and right, over and over and over and over and over and over and over till they're blue in the face. And that's just how the left is.